Well, the leaves are falling and turning, and we're here in New England. It's Blazor Puzzle. I'm Carl Franklin from AppVNext, and that's Jeff Fritz, not in New England, but on the East Coast from Microsoft. Hey, Jeff.
Hello, good to see you, Carl. It's that time of year where I don't want to be in Haddonfield, Illinois.
Yeah. My wife says foliage instead of foliage. She's from, her family is from the Midwest, and her mother always says foliage. The foliage is beautiful around here.
And our non-English speaking friends from Europe and elsewhere are, what?
Yeah. So foliage is what we call when the autumn comes and the leaves turn all sorts of beautiful colors, and then they eventually fall to the ground before winter. All right, enough chit chat. How you doing?
It's absolutely been a whirlwind couple of weeks here. We're getting ready for .NET Conf coming up in November.
Yeah.
We've got Microsoft Ignite coming up. We've got a new release of Blazor with .NET 9 in November.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, it's an exciting time to be a .NET developer.
Absolutely. We interviewed Dan Roth from Microsoft on .NET Rocks about, what's coming up in .NET 9 and Blazor and all that stuff. So I just can't wait.
Oh,
all right, let's jump into the puzzle from 2 weeks ago, because last week I did a Blazor train. All right, here we go. All right, so this really says it all. This is a .NET 8 Blazor web app with global server interactivity and basic authentication.
Oh, no.
When the user registers, we want to capture their first and last names, even though these fields are not part of the ASP.NET Core Identity default data schema. How can we do this? Well, just to sort of explain a little bit more, let's take a look at this database here. All right, so this is it. This is the default database name that came with the template in App Settings.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at the tables. And we've got users and roles and claims and all these things here. But if you look at the users table and look at the columns, you can see we've got username, normalized username, email, normalized email, email confirmed, Boolean, password hash, security stamp.
That's a lot of goo.
Concurrency stamp, phone number. But what you don't see is first name and last name.
Yeah.
So what do we do about that? Well, there's a couple of ways that you can do it, and we got some answers. Some were better than others, but we need to give honorable mention to those who didn't make the cut, even though they were right.
Sure.
So the first one I want to mention is David Roskopf. He won before, and he had the idea of using claims, which is okay. I mean, you can basically add first name and last name as claims.
Right, and they'll end up in that ASP.NET user claims table up there, which then turns into this vertical, right, key value pair collection out there.
Right.
And we really like to use claims for those security significant data points. Someone's name or hair color aren't significant for security.
Right. All right. So I also want to mention Jimmy Matson, a previous winner, who had the right idea. He was adding these properties, first name and last name, to the application user class and doing an EF migration and then setting the properties in the register method. And, that it was good, but he didn't really give us a complete example. So the one that we chose was also a previous winner. I'll tell you who it is in a minute. But essentially, he had a couple of different steps. So we do need to go to Application User and add those fields. All right, and so now we have our base constructor. We have the first name and the last name as required properties. So next, we go down to the Package Manager console, and we're going to say add -migration, and we'll call it added first name and last name to application user.
So descriptive.
Okay, so now you can see under migrations, we've got this new added first name and last name to application user. Probably should have camel cased that, but you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it just adds the columns, first name, last name, and varchar max. Great. Now let's go to the register page, which is in components, account, pages, register. And you scroll down to the bottom, you see the model here, the input model. So what are we going to do here, Jeff?
So now we're going to add some input fields, some properties here that are going to capture that first name and last name that we want to pass along to our application user.
Right. We have to decorate this with some attributes, right?
We do, and it's going to help with formatting and doing some validation on those fields.
So we want them to be required. And we also want the display name here. So that would be...
Display name would be nice.
Display.
So we get a nice field label going with that.
We'll do the same down here.
And we could do some other things on there. If we wanted to put a maximum length on those, we could do that as well. But for right now, we'll let it ride.
Yeah, we'll let it ride right now. So now we need to add the fields to the UI itself, which is all up here. All right. Just make sure we can zoom out so we can see everything. So what we did here is we added a first name field and a last name field according to the same pattern that we used for all the other fields. We got rid of the placeholder and we got rid of the autocomplete. Okay, now let's register. All right. Here we go. And let's see what happens. Passwords don't match.
Ah, come on, Carl.
I know, right? Such a rookie mistake.
Migrations haven't been applied.
That's right. Yes, because we added new migrations. So let's go apply them, refresh the page. And there you go. So I'll confirm my account here. Now we can log in. But let's take a look and see what the database looks like. We'll look in ASP.NET Users, right-click and view the data. Over here in their null.
We didn't write the copy code in the register.
Ah. All right, so as Jeff pointed out, it's not in the database because we didn't actually add it to the registration code. So this is a good place to do it right here. We've created our user, which gives us an application user. Now we can say user first name equals input first name and user last name equals input last name. Everything else should flow from there. So back in the SQL Server, I'm going to open up my users again, and I will delete myself from here. And now register again. Okay, here we go. Let's register again.
Alrighty.
And now, there we go. Account confirmed. Let's go check the database. Refresh the data. Scroll over. Hey, there's my first name and last name. Woohoo! Okay, so that's how we write it. And now, anywhere where we're going to display the user information, that application user will have a first name and last name property on it.
Yep.
Right?
Just use the user manager, grab the current user, and you're off and running with that additional information about our user populated.
Fantastic. All right, now I mentioned that the correct answers came from previous winners.
Yep.
So this week's winner is none other than one of our biggest fans, Bill Sharp, Cross Lanes, West Virginia.
Oh, I was just in West Virginia this past weekend. Love it.
Yeah, that's right, for a football game.
That's right.
So for winning again, Bill, you're going to win another one of these. A quadraphonic Blazor Puzzle mug. Quadraphonic. How you can't say that about other mugs.
No, not at all.
And he's also going to win another one of these. A vitamin and mineral fortified Blazor Puzzle t-shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations, Bill. You'll have to find somebody else to give these things to, or just keep 2 of them for yourself.
He's going to start a Blazor Puzzle coffee clutch there.
Right. And we want to hear from you next time to give our regulars a run for their money. Come on.
That's right.
Let's go. Play the puzzle. And here's another one right here for next week. All right, Jeff, what do we got here?
So this is a scenario that I've seen come up with some folks who were trying to put some marketing campaign weight behind their homepage. They want to, when folks navigate through to the homepage, if they came in, you know, those UTM, those marketing query string parameters that dear Lord, the bookstore there in Seattle adds so many of them to the end of the query strings. You end up with a mountain of these things. But for our websites, we want to be able to grab some of those values and route appropriately to maybe some specific content. And when you do that with Navigation Manager, it can sometimes cause a problem. And that's what's happening here. So in this case, we want to be able to pass in a campaign query string parameter. And if that has a value, route appropriately to a campaign page that's maybe hidden off to the side and not included in the standard navigation, but it has information specific for whatever that marketing thing is that's going on.
Okay.
Well, adding that query string and then having the Navigation Manager route, it doesn't work for this one. And I included a link there. You see it linked. And if you mouse over it, you can see it's trying to go to localhost / campaign equals 123 in this case. Just
got it.
Some number, right?
Yeah.
But when we click it, it blows up. See? It's trying to do Navigation Manager, navigate to that other thing. I want to take some action to kind of log that we've come in on this campaign and then route you to that other location, and it's not working.
You know I've done this before. It seems like it should work.
It should. I need your help, friends.
All right.
If you're out there, you're watching, can you help us fix this one and give us an answer that'll clear this up? This is puzzle 53. And we're going to need to get your help.
Right. So if you think you know the answer, don't post it on social media, but instead send it to Jeff and me at the email address blazorpuzzle@appvnext.com with the subject puzzle number 53 before Tuesday, October 2nd. Right? Because we record on Wednesdays and we publish on Fridays. So if we get them in by Tuesday.
22nd.
Did I say October 2nd?
Yes.
Yeah, 22nd. Boy, one little 2 can make the whole difference. Let's go back in time, Jeff, shall we?
Let's go back.
Yeah. All right. Before Tuesday, October 22nd. And good luck. Obsess away. And we want some new blood. So come on, folks. Here we go. See you next week.
Take care, friends.
Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out blazortrain.com and the .NETshow.com for more great content.